There it is.
Welcome, YouTube.
Howdy, howdy.
The Raise Hale, Praise Dale podcast. Got a little partially new setup going on, so pay attention for new stuff showing up. The presentation screen has not been changed yet, but that's my next thing to work on. But yeah, this week is after Darlington, and we get to talk a little bit about playoff scenario since everybody's locked in now, and then we'll get to make our predictions on who's going to win the championship, I guess, if we want to go that route. But I'm not JT Dallas. He's JT Dallas. I'm Voodoo.
Hey, you got a little backwards there, homie. This dude over here thinks he's me. I'm JT Dallas.
Yeah, I'm Voodoo. And as you can see, this part's new. There's VIP Braden in the chat already.
Hey, VIP Braden.
And our chat, if I set it up right, should be popping up right below that red line. If I did it right, we'll see here in a second. Maybe I jacked it up somehow.
Dang, always breaking stuff.
Right? Not broke. Break it. Looks like it's not right because it's not showing up. That sucks.
Bigger.
Or do I even have it showing up? Let's see. YouTube. Yeah, I mean it's set to show up, so.
Gotta love it. Gotta love technology. It's not a stream if everything's right.
Right. So it's not going to come on this time, but I'll fix it for next time. Anywho, let's roll our intro, a brand spanking new intro, and get right into this thing.
Heck yeah, boy.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about our new intro?
Party, I think.
I think so. See what our VIP thinks about it.
Gonna take him a second to answer. Watch.
Yeah, it's a little behind.
But I think it is on a delay from them.
Yeah, helps with the latency and stuff like that. So
there we go. That intro was
fire. There you yeah, heck yeah, boy.
Oh look, now it's showing up. It just didn't show up on the first one.
Maybe it had to warm up.
All right. So, as we mentioned, we'll go over penalties from Daytona. Then we'll cover Darlington races and the coin for ARCA. And then we'll jump forward and look ahead to Atlanta, which I guess since today is Labor Day, by the way, happy Labor Day. There was no entry list put out today, so won't be able to tell you notable entries, which, I mean, we already know 2 of them, but we don't know who's going to be in the 15, so we shall see. Go ahead and jump straight into our post-race breakdown. Look at that new fancy stuff down there.
Tell little Hobbles not to jump too hard into it. She might break her other foot. Just playing.
Don't hobble too hard over there. You might break your other foot.
Anyway, let's talk about some penalties in Xfinity. Got L1 penalties for unapproved body panel modification. Each team was docked 20 race points and 5 playoff points. Additionally, each crew chief was fined $25,000. That would be the number 27 of Jeb Burton, 28 of Kyle Sieg, and 45 of Caesar Basrella.
Something like that. Close enough.
Sorry.
That'd be one of my broken children, Braden. The one we referred to as Skywalker.
Yeah, I think Braden come in after all that.
Yeah.
She used to be on. She was on with us for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Same thing with the voices in my head.
Yeah. Now that his voices in his head are just internal mostly. But
sometimes I can stop the screaming.
Right. Jumping to the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds ARCA race, which is the Southern Illinois 100. On the pole, you had the 18 of William Sawalik. And your results, top 5, your winner is the number 20 of Brent Cruz. And then rounding out your top 5, you had the 18 of William Sawalik, number 2 of Andres Perez, the 15 of Chris Wright, and I don't know why I put the 15 again, but Kelly Kovsky round out your top 5.
2 15s. And then you got the number 6 of LeVar Scott. Ooh, that feels good. 55 of Taylor Raymer, 32 of Christian Rose, our 25 Tony Breidinger, and Tim Monroe in the number 12. And that takes us out of the top 10. But
and then down here in 13th, we got Brayton Laster, which is a fellow that I do follow on Twitter. It was his last start in ARCA, and I told him if he got a top 10 that we would mention him on the show. But he got pretty close, so I figured we'd give him a shout out anyway.
Heck yeah.
And that 31 car, pretty close to the top 10. So we'll give him a little bit of credit there if he pops in.
Heck yeah. Sport clip. Haircut VFW Helpa Hero 200.
Do that 3 times fast.
I don't think I can do it. I barely say it one time regular speed. At Darlington, the purse was $1,303,907 smackaroos.
Nobody knows this kid, but the poll went to the number 20 of Christopher Bell. And second place, starting off, was the number 18 of Sheldon Creed. Did have one car that failed to qualify, which was the 74 of Dawson Cram.
What a great last name, Dawson. Yeah, that sucked for Creed.
Sucked for Busch too, but we'll get there in a minute.
Right. Unapproved adjustments. Jesse Love in the number 2 got sent to the rear, as well as Chad Fincham in number 14. Matty B in the number 38, and Leland Honeyman in the 42, all for unapproved adjustments.
This is not a broken record, but stage 1 went to the no-name man of Christopher Bell in the 20.
Right,
stage 2 went to Sheldon Creed in the 18. And your top, you want to get the top 5, or you want me to take top 5?
I'll take top 5 this time.
All right.
Because in that beautiful number 1 spot, the number 20 of Christopher Bell, only he could have done it in the Cup Series, just saying. Behind him was Cole Custer in the 00, Sheldon Creed in the number 18 on 3rd. 4th is Chase Elliott in the number 17, and Sammy Smith brought up the top 5 with the number 8 car. Oh, can't talk.
Yeah. Then rounding out your top 10, starting off in 6th, the number 2 of Jesse Love, and then Mr. SVG himself in the 97 coming in 7th. Chandler Smith in the 81 coming in 8th. The 21 of Austin Hill in 9th. And then your top 10 fills out with Justin Allgaier in the number 7. No tech issues, nobody to research and development, but we did have quite a few notable entries for that Xfinity race.
Yes, sir. We had Joey Logano, who started 18th and finished 38th, so average Joey. He was running the number 15.
Well, wasn't it his engine that blew up on him, I think?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That pastel-colored 15 car. Chase Elliott started in 16th place and finished in 4th. Mr. No Name Man of Christopher Bell. Didn't move forward any positions. It's just horrible.
Okay. Sorry, I was giving good night lovin's. Where are we? 26, Corey Heim?
Well, I was gonna say Christopher Bell did absolutely horrible. He didn't move forward any positions at all.
No, you're right. But when you start on the top, there's nowhere else to go.
Excuses. He started first, finished first.
Heck yeah, baby. That's the way he needs to stay. And then you got old Corey Heim that started 12th and went backwards 13 positions and finished 25th.
Noah Gragson in the 30 started in 29th, finished 15th, almost up 15 spots.
Yes, sir. And then you got old 92 of Ross Chastain starting 24th and finishing 12th.
I do agree with you somewhat, Braden, that Cup drivers shouldn't be able to run in Xfinity or truck races. I know truck races, they're only allowed 5 starts, and it has to be before a certain date. So, once the playoffs hit, the Cup drivers aren't allowed to race in trucks anymore.
Yep, I have.
But for Xfinity, it's a little bit different. But their playoffs aren't technically set yet. So.
True. But I also agree with you, Braden, on that, and I have ranted about it on this podcast. I don't think Cup drivers should be able, maybe one start, maybe one. But if you're going to run Cup, you should run Cup. If you're going to run Xfinity, you should run Xfinity. You should not be able to run both because especially before the playoffs, if you are a Cup driver and you win a race, you literally just stole someone's opportunity to get into the playoffs. So that's just my personal opinion.
Or
but it is what it is.
If you're gonna allow Cup drivers to drop down, have every team field a Cup driver. Do it that way. Be a different way to do it.
Yeah, but then you'd also lose a lot of positions. We had one that didn't even qualify in this time. So
that's because they're bringing too many cars to the field there. Cup
that's
can't do the same thing no more.
If you have the team try to fill the Cup driver, every team trying to do it, I feel like you'd run into the same problems because, if you're a full season, you wouldn't want to give up your spot for a Cup guy just because he's a Cup guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying have an exhibition race added in somewhere.
Now that
specifically for the Cup drivers.
I think it would be cool to have a third or a third of the field Cup, a third of the field Xfinity, and a third of the field truck.
Do a Rolex 24, but have the 3 different divisions going at the same time. Hey, that could be interesting.
Definitely.
I don't know about that. Moving forward to the Cup race, the Cookout Southern 500 is the I think should be the regular season finale race all the time.
Yeah, it was a good race. I didn't watch it live. Unfortunately, I've been super busy this weekend, hence why there's no weekend winners for the 3rd week in the row. So sorry, guys. Life has been crazy. I am so sorry. I'm gonna try to get it this week, but it's been absolutely nuts.
I got these first little graphics updated, and we got a new intro, which I did not make. We got professionally made, but the presentation portion of the show, I did not update those graphics, and due to our lack of awesomeness, we don't have Slick Scheme Spotlight again this week. So we'll make it up to you eventually, maybe.
Yeah, we'll make it up to you eventually. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I've just been super busy.
It's been crazy for both of us, but we'll get back on track. Don't worry. We got 55 of y'all to make happy now, so a little more pressure on us. But your purse for the Cup Series was $8,644,143.
I just want the last 3 numbers. If you give me that 143, I think that'd make at least my whole month. You know, like, man, I got $143 today.
From NASCAR.
Yeah, from NASCAR. I mean,
NASCAR paid me. Woohoo! Hey, $143 can get me
Speaking of
that
getting
doggone Stream Deck.
right. Speaking of getting paid, Bubba Wallace probably received a pretty decent bonus for getting the pole this time with the 77 of Carson Hocevar right on his tail in second.
Guess we'll keep that as a spoiler on if he got Rookie of the Week or not. I mean, he started off strong, but did he finish strong? Who knows?
Dun, dun, dun.
Nobody to the rear. It's pretty nice.
Yes, sir.
And then stage 1 and stage 2 went to the number 5 of Kyle Larson.
I was a little worried he was gonna sweep there at the end of stage 2.
Yeah.
But instead, the number 14 of Chase Briscoe beat off
Busch.
outraced Kyle Busch in a drag race around the last couple laps. And he broke a 93 start streak without a win. He is the 8th driver to break a 40-plus winless streak in 2024.
But you know who's not one of those 8 drivers?
Kyle Busch.
Corey LaJoy.
Even better. 262 starts.
Insane. But we got to give him a little bit of credit. He got his first top 10. Coming in second, obviously, Kyle Busch in the 8, Mr. Christopher Bell in the 20 and third. So he was close to sweeping the weekend there.
That's right.
Kyle Larson dropped to 4th, and Ross Chastain rounds out your top 5. And then number 1, sexy Busch light car. I don't even think it was Busch light. I think it was just Busch, wasn't it?
It was Busch light, or it was Busch Classic.
Yeah.
Such a good car.
Yes,
if we were having an S cubed, that would have been it.
Right.
All right, and then we got old Chris Buescher, who come in 6th. The Cucumber Cowboy, aka Denny Hamlin, come in 7th. Joey Logano in 8th. Corey LaJoy in his first top 10 in 9th. And Tyler Reddick in the top 10, cinching his regular season champions.
Yeah. Our driver did well, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
No tech issues, but going to research and development is the 51 of Justin Haley and the 71 of Zane Smith. Just to double check those cars there. And we had a couple of notable entries, but not as many as Xfinity.
Good.
Mr. Kaz Gralla made a return, but not for very long. Started in 35th and finished in 34th. And the SVG.
SVG in the number 16. He started 34th and finished 26th, so up about 8 spots. Not bad.
Yeah. Mr. Timmy Hill in that W number 66. Started in 37th, but had to retire early there in 35th because of a steering issue that he couldn't overcome on lap 278 there.
Oh, Timmy. All right, let's take a look at some of our rookies. Got old Josh Berry in the number 4s. He started 15th and finished 31st due to an accident on lap 343.
Yeah, so he almost made it to the end. And we just talked about Kaz Gralla. Started in 35th, finished 34th.
Yep. And then we had old Zane Smith. They started in 26th and ended in 23rd.
And then old Carson Hocevar, Mr. I'm starting on the front row, but finishing in 33rd due to an accident on lap 335. So really, the bar was set real low for Rookie of the Week this week.
Yeah. Who do you think got it?
The only person that went forward was Zane Smith. So
yeah. But he had a rookie that qualified second. So,
true. And he was up there for a while, I would say.
Yeah,
a
and
pretty
I mean,
decent
he got
race,
taken
but-
out because of an accident. So I mean, who knows? All I'm gonna say is Carson Hocevar has my vote this week.
I'm kind of tossed up, but at least for regular season points, Carson Hocevar still is in the lead on our rookies with 471 points. That's a 22nd spot in the overall point standings.
And Josh Berry is behind him at 2 positions with 460 points. It's 11 points less in 24th.
Zane Smith dropped from 33rd to 34th this week. Now it's 330 points, which is 141 points behind that of Carson Hocevar. And then, yep.
Yep. And then Kaz Grala's in 35th with 169 points. That's 302 points behind Carson Hocevar.
He finally made it on the track and only earned himself 1 point. So,
Yes, sir.
not exactly a great week.
All right.
Next up would be your RHPD Motorsports.
And if you guys, if this is the first time you are watching the podcast, you're like, what the heck is RHPD Motorsports? For our 25th subscriber episode, Voodoo and I decided to make a fantasy team where we picked 4 drivers, and the only rule was you cannot pick more than 1 driver from the same actual team. And the whole point of it is, when we picked our drivers, we're going to combine our points and see where our team has placed in team standings at the end of the season. Next year, we might add a little bit to it. We might add some rules, stuff like that. So
Make it a little more difficult for us.
Yeah, especially because since this year we had a 6-month head start.
Hey, it's not our fault. It took us a while to get to 25 subscribers. All right.
Right.
But let's reveal our.
Well, before we move on, and speaking of subscriber episodes, be looking forward to our 50th subscriber. We hit it 2 weeks ago, and our times have not been able to.
We were planning on doing it today, but we weren't able to link up until
I got busy and life sucks.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that to be coming. Oh.
Now let's go ahead and get into it. Wing. Wing.
Welcome to RHPD Motorsports. Let's talk a little bit about Ryan Blaney. He is running our number 62, which is the numbers we have picked for our team. 62, 63, 64, and 65, as you can see on your screen. He started 7th and unfortunately went back 30 positions and finished 37th. He is definitely getting the driver meeting this week.
He saved Brad Keselowski there. In our 63, that is Tyler Reddick. Mr. I don't feel so well. Started in 6th, but only moved back 4 spots to 10th. Not too bad of a race.
No.
Considering he got our regular season championship locked up.
Right. So
by one single point.
Got that going for us. And then we got Mr. Consistent Kyle Larson. Started 4th and finished 4th. So he's looking pretty good.
Yep. And then Mr. Bad Brad Keselowski that got saved by Mr. Blaney up there. Started in 12th and went backwards a couple spots to 14th.
Yes, sir. So our team looked okay this week, is what I'm going to say. Not terrible, because I know Blaney got wrecked out at the beginning with Martin Truex, which really wasn't his fault, but still.
Sucks.
Yeah, it still sucks. But overall, 3 drivers in the top 20, or the top 15, technically.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. That's better than most of the real teams out there, so.
True. Now this week's gonna be a little bit different because obviously we have the points reset for the playoffs, and all 4 of our drivers made the playoffs. Just saying.
Heck yeah.
We will go over their final positions of the regular season and then what their points are after the points reset. So, starting off, we'll go to the regular season points.
Go ahead.
Mr. Tyler Reddick, obviously, is our regular season champion with 860 points, 26 starts, with 2 race wins and 3 stage wins.
Yes, sir. And right behind him, we have Cash Money Kyle Larson. He only missed it by 1 point. He had 859 points with 25 starts, 4 race wins, and 8 stage wins.
Makes you think that Indy Coke 600 deal is what messed him up out of that.
Yep.
Then coming in 6th, Mr. Ryan Blaney, 756 points. That's 104 behind that of Mr. Tyler Reddick with 2 race wins and 3 stage wins.
Heck yeah. And then behind him, we got Bad Brad Keselowski in 8th with 742 points. That's 118 behind Tyler Reddick with 26 starts, 1 race wins, and a goose egg for stage wins. So
we got to get him to get that goose egg out of there.
Heck yeah, but not bad. Our whole team is in the top 10 of the playoffs or the regular season point standings.
I didn't update that number over there. I put 7 instead of 8. My bad. I'm human.
What?
On the actual image.
Oh, okay.
I had 7th. That's all good.
Anyway, after the reset, I'm sorry.
No green flag restart, man.
After the reset, Kyle Larson will be the leader with 2,040 points.
And then Tyler Reddick, unfortunately, starts back in 3rd, 12 points behind that of Kyle Larson with 2,028 points.
Yeah, that's because Chris Bell's in 2nd right now in playoff standings. Ryan Blaney will be
He's
in
not one of our
5th.
drivers. We don't care about him.
I definitely do care about him. Anyway, Ryan Blaney is in 5th with 2,018 points. That's 22 behind Larson.
And then Mr. Bad Brad Keselowski bringing up the rear in 8th with 2,008 points, which is 32 points back. So all of us are in reachable distance there.
Yes, sir. And I love that we are all still in the top 10 in the playoffs.
Yep.
I love it. So, of course, we have our drivers without a win, and that's everybody, including Kaz Gralla, adding 1 more start, especially our podcast favorite, most winningless driver, Corey LaJoy, with 262 starts. Beautiful. I love seeing it. Can't see it enough.
I'll pull him out of top 10. He might get another cup ride for next year. See?
Right.
All right, so playoff prediction update. We'll do a full video of this, I think, at some point to kind of break down.
Yeah, boy.
If we get to it before this weekend, I would say.
Yeah.
Anyways, there are now 16 drivers locked into the round of 16.
There sure is.
So we got to figure out our final tally. So going into this week, Mr. JTDALLIS had 9. I, myself, Voodoo, had 10. But we had some changes. So, Mr. Chase Briscoe, obviously, in with a win at the Southern 500. That adds 1 to Dally's points, but not to me. So that evened us out to 10 apiece. And then Mr. Martin Truex Jr., even though he was out early, did lock himself in on points. And that's +1 to both of us. That bumps us both up to 11. And then Mr. Ty Gibbs snuck in on points. But neither one of us selected him. So we're stuck at 11 apiece. We dead even.
I do want to point out how pretty good we got, considering both of us had 11 out of 16 drivers picked.
Yeah.
That's only missing 4. So
well, 5. Yeah.
5. Oh,
16 drivers, not 15.
Never mind.
Math isn't math.
So good.
But
yeah, because neither one of us selected Suarez, Keselowski, Cindric, Bowman, or Burton. I
Well,
don't
neither
think
one of us
anybody.
selected Suarez. I only selected Kozlowski. You only selected Cindric. I
Okay.
only selected Bowman, and then neither one of us selected Burton. So we had a couple of them to where we both selected them. A couple to where only one of us selected them.
Listen, whoever made $100 bet on Burton was making the round of 16 is loaded right now.
Probably so.
Because that had to be like 100 to 1 odds. Or no, it had to be worse than that. It was probably
it had to have been
like 2,000 to 1. So this dude's rolling. If he had put $100 on that, shoot, share the wealth, brother. We're trying to make a NASCAR podcast.
Right.
But anywho, if our VIP is texting us, or not texting us, but in the chat, I don't see it on here. Nope, he's still.
I haven't seen anything since he mentioned that Cup driver shouldn't be racing in Xfinity or trucks.
Yeah. Well, if you're still in here, Braden, I'm glad you're in here. If not, have a good day tomorrow and a good week. But anyway, let's go back to, or let's not go back, but jump to our trackside trends. Alrighty then. You want to start the updates?
So the right side air deflector that they implemented for Daytona that you wait.
You playing some Heat 5?
What console do you play on, Mr. Braden? The right side air deflectors that they implemented at Daytona that didn't really help all that much weren't used this weekend at Darlington, but going forward, starting with Atlanta, all intermediate and super speedways will have the right side air deflectors. So, yeah, I guess expect more of the same. Uh-oh.
Boy, we're gonna have to get you in.
Interesting.
You're gonna have to add a Voodoo on Xbox.
Yeah, we may be able to get you into a league now. Technically, the Wednesday one that I host and we both raced in is shutting down after this season, but we do have a different one that we only got one race left in, and then we got a week break, and then we'll be starting season 2.
Yep.
So, may be able to get you in on that, sir.
Yes, sir. But moving on
Obviously, you have to try out for it, but
yeah. But moving on to updates, NASCAR has added an extra practice for Xfinity and Cup due to changes in the infield portion of the Roval. Cup teams also get extra practice at Watkins Glen due to new tire code.
dun dun dun. Yeah, I'm supposed to get more wear and tear on these tires at Watkins Glen coming up.
Heck yeah.
It'll be cool, kind of cool to see.
This next one I'm looking forward to, honestly.
Right.
I wish
we already talking about awards. We just ain't even start the playoffs yet, technically. But NASCAR award ceremony will be held on Friday, November 22nd at the Charlotte Convention Center, obviously in Charlotte, North Carolina. But it will not be aired until the 24th, which is that Sunday following on the CW at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And kind of tied into that.
What is it?
Kind of tied into the award ceremony there, but
yeah. NASCAR will also host an awards banquet for NASCAR Regional and NASCAR International Thursday, November 21st. This includes ARCA East and West, Wayland Modified Tour, NASCAR Weekly Series, NASCAR Brazil, Canada, Mexico, and Wayland Euro Series.
Yeah, kind of cool. I think this is the first time they're actually doing one for those groups.
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie. I like to see that NASCAR is bringing in a lot more of its own people. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they're really kind of shining light on. Hey, we do have a NASCAR Brazil. We do have NASCAR Canada and Mexico, and what I mean. I think they even have a NASCAR Germany, if I remember right, which is crazy to me. But it's really cool.
Hmm.
I'm I'm looking forward to throwback to our last week's episode. But if NASCAR has a 24-hour, I hope that they do actually let or a 24-hour streaming service, I guess is what it would be. I hope that
Close enough.
yeah, I hope that you can record it. You know what I mean? Like you have your DVR.
Have like
And
a
I also-
library, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like YouTube TV because that's one reason I love YouTube TV is because if I'm busy during the race, I can always record it and go back and watch it. It's great. But I hope that that's the case, or even like make it like Netflix, where like it might be live, but you can watch it, or not Netflix, but Prime, where it might be live, but you can, if you miss it, you can go back and watch it for a set amount of time. You know what I mean? But I really do hope that they have like the NASCAR Brazil, NASCAR Canada, NASCAR Mexico, the Wayland, the ARCA, Xfinity. You know what I mean? I hope that they have all these things on there, and I hope that they get. I really will hope that Race Hub, well, not necessarily Race Hub, but something like Race Hub gets brought back into it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been missing it. You know what I mean? I miss watching Race Hub.
I forget which channel said they were doing it, but there's somebody throughout the playoffs that's going to be doing like an inside NASCAR style show throughout the playoffs. But I don't remember. I don't remember what channel it was on. I have to look it up.
Yeah. But
Saw that
anyway,
on Twitter briefly.
That's my spiel. I just hope that all that. Yeah, I agree. Fox did ruin Race Hub.
Fox got rid of Race Hub technically.
Technically, but when it was on Speed, oh my gosh, dude! I remember I loved watching Speed Network. Like I would love for Speed to come back. Braden, you might be too young, but Speed was top tier. You could watch boat races, then turn around, watch drag races, then watch NASCAR and watch shows about speed. Oh,
Yep.
back in my day.
Back in moving forward, our last bit of NASCAR news here. NASCAR has enlisted CAA Sports to help it find a new chief commercial officer as it looks to keep pace in sponsorship sales with Liberty Media's F1 series.
All right. Well,
Going on, NASCAR Jimmy fan, welcome in.
Okay, I got you.
We got a new viewer in here.
Welcome in. Braden,
NASCAR Jimmy fan.
All right.
I'm expecting that's Mr. Jimmy Johnson, right? Because if so, then you're already welcomed into the circle.
You in the right spot. Braden, yeah. Jimmy Spencer was something else.
That's his Insta friend. Okay. Braden inviting friends in already.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
We're going to have to do something for Braden. He being awesome. Our VIP. Right. But anyway, let's go to some team changes. And the only ones we have is for Xfinity. And that's Christian Edkis is running the 16 for Colleague instead of running Truex.
Yep, so he'll be moving up to Xfinity next year. And Mr. Jimmy fan, as you can see, I'm a slight Jimmy fan with all his Jimmy Johnson stuff going on behind me back here.
Computer and beat you with it. I'm still salty. So I don't know if we ever told this story of why I'm super salty about that helmet. So when we went to Nashville together, we stopped by the tent. Parker Retzlaff.
I give Parker Retzlaff no hate. He did what he thought was best for his team to potentially get a victory. I have no hate on him at all. People that are like old Kyle Busch fans thinking that he should have pushed Busch to the first place. Well, he wasn't even in a position to do that in the first place. And secondly, how many other races did you have a chance to win and didn't pull it off?
I agree.
I don't do iRacing, but I do racing on Heat 5.
I think he's talking about Jimmy Fan, homie.
I think so too, but just saying.
Anyway.
Well, back to the story about the helmet.
Oh, yeah. So we went to a place that both of us follow on X, which is Mead Racing, right?
Mead Motorsports. Yeah.
That's what it was. I always want to call it Mead Racing for some reason. Anyway, what it is it's basically a gypsy tent that he has a bunch of cool die cast, which he did have. I got a cool Ryan or a Truex truck and a couple of Superbirds because in my house full of NASCAR, I didn't have a petty Superbird, which is odd. Anyway, I about bought that helmet, and my wife, I was on the phone with my wife. Unfortunately, she threw a fit. So he ended up buying it. And when we get back to the hotel that we were staying at, my wife says, "Oh, well, I would have let you bought it." And
but it's mine.
Helmet.
Never let you live that down.
Yeah, I know. I'm still going to be salty about it.
I look, his voice is in his head. It does exist.
Yeah. One day I will have at least a Johnson helmet. Not necessarily that one, as cool as that one is, but I will have one. Mark my words. It might say Lowe's on it. I don't care.
Hey, Lowe's. I think Lowe's would be a better one than Ally. Just saying.
Yeah, but
I mean, mine is special because it's the 7-time champ.
Exactly.
But
that's why I want that one.
Lowe's would be more iconic, I would think.
Yeah, but I wanted that one because it was, the Petty Earnhardt Johnson mix, because that's also the year he got his 7th. Ugh.
Yeah. All right.
I'm still salty.
Continue on with the show.
So we got some paint schemes.
We don't
have paint schemes. Just kidding. Well, it's time to move on to our race day horizon. Yeah, I was definitely upset. But it's okay. I've got something just as cool. Yeah. You can take this over and
you're gonna pull out big old DE. I think he's pulling out DE. Race day horizon. So we're looking forward to. I wish I could do iRacing, man, but I don't even have a computer that can keep up with that, much less the funds to do it afterwards.
No, I'm not pulling Dale out. He's hard to unfold, and he's about to rip. I've got to fix him, unfortunately. But what I do have, oh my gosh,
that's some bubbly.
No, this is a die cast, believe it or not, of his 2006 championship. There's a 164th in here.
Nice.
Yeah. But no, Dale is about to rip, and I don't want to rip him because I'd be really mad.
No, don't need to. Never mind. I was gonna say, but I'm not going to. That'd be gruesome. Atlanta Motor Speedway trucks are again off this week. Xfinity and Cup will be hitting the track, and on Saturday, both on USA and the NBC Sports app at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, you have your Xfinity qualification. Then 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon, you got Cup Qual. 2:30 in the afternoon, you got Xfinity Countdown to Green. And 3 p.m. Eastern Time is your Focused Health 250, which I slacked on getting all the full information here, but you got 40 laps in Stage 1 and Stage 2 and 83 laps in Stage 3. That's 163 laps.
Yep.
Look at that math in my head. Woo.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Sunday! Hang on, baby Jesus, this is gonna get bumpy.
All right, we're talking about Sunday on USA/NBC Sports app at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You got the Cup pre-race, and at 3, they're going green. Quaker State 400 has 3 stages. The first stage being 60, and the second 2 being 100. That's 260 laps of pure checkered flying, car spinning awesomeness.
There's not much checkered flying. only 3 times in the race, but you know.
I quit.
Jimmy, I do like Lee Diffie. His accent might be a little bit funny, but I do like the way that he calls the race. Brings excitement to it.
I agree with that one. I think he brings a whole new perspective. It kind of gives me like F1 vibes, and I don't like F1. But add NASCAR to like with an F1 caller, and it's like a work of art.
Yeah. The notable entries for Xfinity and Cup, we don't. I guess since it was Labor Day, like I mentioned earlier, they did not release the starting lineups. So Xfinity, we're not sure who's racing there yet. Cup, we're not sure he's going to be in the 15. I'm expecting Kaz Grala again, but it could be somebody else. And the 16 will be SVG. And the 44 will be coming back for NY Racing. That'll be JTDALLLIS making another start.
Heck yeah. Who you got for Atlanta?
Atlanta. I think it's a little too late, but I think old Busch is gonna pull it off this time.
You think so? I don't know. I feel like Atlanta has kind of become like a mini Daytona. You never really know what's gonna happen.
Well, if you think about it, he finished second at Daytona just 2 weeks ago. And his streak the last few races, he finished 4th 3 weeks ago, and then he's got 2 second-place finishes both this past weekend and the weekend before. He's on a little hot streak right now.
Yeah, but I mean, not getting into the playoffs probably hurt his ego quite a bit. Even though his after-race interview didn't sound like it. He just kind of is upset because, you know, he put himself there.
The Hunky TV?
Heck yeah. Well,
another Braden friend coming in. Look at that.
You got Blaney Braden.
You got I could see Blaney pulling it off, but
I'm going to say, man.
We love it. We love it, Braden. Bring them all in here.
Heck yeah. Gonna start pulling out.
Who you got, Hunky? I know you say repeat winner, but which repeat winner? Jimmy Fan asked a question here a minute ago too. Would a good season schedule be just a season where it has a lot of various types of tracks? For example, dirt, oval, road course, or tracks that the fans love?
On that one,
I think it's a steady mix, to be honest.
Yeah, man, that's a hard question.
But for Cup, I'm not a fan of Bristol dirt, so
I love the Bristol
Cup
dirt.
cars on dirt. I just don't think they are built for dirt.
That's what makes it great.
Oh, you think Briscoe's going back to back? All right, hey, Briscoe locking himself into the round of 12 already. Hey, never knew.
Yeah,
Hunky, you can be our friends. Well, we'll take it. We need more friends.
I could see. I couldn't see Chase coming in. I could see Larson taking it. Maybe even Reddick. Honestly, I could see Larson or Reddick taking it, and that's coming from a Bill fan.
Appreciate that sub, Hunky.
Yeah,
it should bump us up to 56. Hey, we're all biased around here. If Jimmy's racing, we're picking Jimmy, even though we know he's probably going to be rough. But in all honesty, for Darlington, I did have Eric Jones. But yeah, didn't quite work out in our favor. He didn't have a bad race, but didn't do as well as I would have liked.
Shoot, you'd want him on the front row.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big Briscoe fan.
Hunky says it's 57 now. Honey.
But to answer Jimmy Fan's question, I would say a balanced season, like have a couple road courses, super speedways, normal tracks. I would love to see dirt thrown back in. That's just my opinion. I mean, of course, the fans make the season. So, I mean, we went collectively to 3 races this season? Well, you're going to the
Yeah,
fourth
you
one,
went to
so-
Texas, I went to Talladega, and then we went to Nashville together. So, and then I could
You're trying to-
potentially be going to Talladega again. Just saying. I will find
told
out
us
tomorrow
you-
morning.
Sweet. But I don't know. I think a well-rounded, like, some road courses, some
I need them to go ahead and build another track down here by me. Just saying.
I'd like to have NASCAR in Oklahoma. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, if they could build one around even Oklahoma City, Tulsa area, maybe. I mean, even if
Too
they
far
built
away.
it further south. For you, I don't see it happening because one day when you'll hit 1K, you can say I was never. That's right. Appreciate
You're
it.
one of the OGs, baby. Hey, our goal right now is not 1K. Our goal right now is 100. Take
We
one of them
just
zeros
hit
away.
50 a couple weeks ago. Oh, we're gonna have a bonus episode coming out, but
His home track is Pocono, but he
okay.
goes to Dover as a preference. Dover in June will be interesting. At least it's a little further north, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Nashville in
I was about to say I can see
late
in Nashville
June
in July.
is not the spot to be.
Oh. Yeah, because we were there on the 30th.
The very last day of
And
June.
it was melt your face hot, and then it rained and got 70 degrees.
Clash at Irwindale, that could be fun. I'm wondering. I got a feeling this at Bowman Gray is gonna be pretty similar of a race to what we had at the Coliseum. The track is obviously slightly different, but
I'm kind of looking
distance-wise,
forward.
it's the same.
I'm looking forward to the Mexico race.
Yeah.
I want to see how that plays out.
That'd be nice to watch too, for sure. My home track is Dega. I want to say his home track is probably, well, you're kind of split down the middle
I am
between Kansas
literally
and
3
Texas.
miles from being dead center in between Texas and Kansas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna claim Texas because it was a better race.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we went to Texas this year for my wife's birthday. Had a lot of fun. Got to meet Martin Truex Jr. before we knew he was retiring. So had an awesome time. Got some signatures on my RHPD hat. He went to Dega like the week after we went to Texas. He did the same thing. I'm sure he had a lot of fun. I'll let you kind of talk about that if you wanted to.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet Martin Truex Jr., but I did get Noah Gragson, Bubba Wallace,
And you said Alvin.
Alvin Kamara. Yeah.
And
That's
then we
pretty
went to Nashville together at the end of June, and we got all kinds of signatures. In fact, I have a cup. Well, technically, my wife has a cup. She stole it. That has all of the current cup SHR guys. Hey, okay.
I'm gonna say Mr. Daniel Suarez better show up to that race and
Oh, definitely.
be up front at least.
He better at least get the pole. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know about the pole. He can let somebody else have the pole, but he needs to like take a stage or something.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. So
Yep. But I'll be at Talladega again here shortly.
hopefully. I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to even be able to make a race next year.
Honestly,
I'm kinda sad.
Hunky, he said not to distract the layout of the stream, but do you think SHR will pull off one more win? Yes, I'm a huge SHR fan since '09, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do next year. Well, you said you were a Briscoe fan, weren't you? He's going to be in his own car. He's
gonna be
jumping over to the
JGR.
19.
Yeah.
Might have had to switch over to being a JGR fan, man. From Ford to Toyota. Hey, we left Chevy and went to Toyota. Good thing.
Yeah.
Braden, yes, that's the person that I was going to say has the best chance of winning for them would be Josh Berry. He's
That's
been
what I was
running
gonna
up front
say, though.
a good bit.
Yep. That's what I was going to say.
Well, yeah. So, as we were,
And
we kind of strayed
guys,
off of our picks for
yeah,
race there.
I was gonna say, and don't worry about messing with the layout of this podcast. It's not set in stone. We love having people in conversation. That's Braden. We mess with him all the time.
Speaking
it's
of,
just,
before you continue, we gotta let Braden know he's got homework.
Oh
We keep forgetting to tell him.
Yeah. So for our scheme videos with commentary, you got to come up with the title, homie.
Yeah. Yeah, give us
that would be cool.
You don't have to do it in stream here, but you got to come up with a name for the NASCAR paint scheme
Commentary.
reveal videos to where we give 1 to 5 lug nuts for each scheme.
Yep. But
that's your homework. Well, yeah.
Braden, that's your homework. But on Briscoe being the number 14 to be the first and the last one to win, I could see it happening. But got you, Braden. But I could also see Barry taking a win because he's just he's a good driver, let's be honest. He's kind
been on a pretty good streak, other than getting flipped over and wrecked into and stuff.
I mean, he's still on a good streak because he got out of there with no injuries. So
yeah.
After spinning like a turtle for 15 minutes.
Well, I'm Voodoo, Hunky. Dally, on the other hand, does have a way better collection than me, but the way he's currently set up, he doesn't have a permanent setup to where he can keep it set up. He's got to take it down and put it back up. Mine's permanent in the corner of my bedroom. But yeah,
I promise if you watch enough, you'll see some of my collection. He mainly collects Johnson. I collect anything with NASCAR. Speaking of which, Voodoo, did I tell you I got a deal with my my wife brokered
124 cars of Johnson.
You brokered a deal with our local Family Dollar Tree, where I get all of their Legacy Motor Club stuff after it's used.
I'm saying you should send me some. Just saying.
So far, I've only got
Braden.
my eyes on one, but
that was definitely Barry's race. If he wouldn't have got flipped over,
that definitely. What was I gonna say? Oh, I know what I'm doing.
I would just love to see Josh Berry get a win. All I'm saying.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Can't forget about that Jeff Gordon toothpaste to go with Dally's Jeff Gordon toothbrush.
I have 24 124s in here. And I
now,
think I've got
Hunky, the flip wasn't as bad for Barry. Like, I didn't freak out on the flip, but when he slid on his roof into that inside wall, that's what freaked me out.
Like, oh my God. Yeah, that's where I started like freaking out. I got a little worried, but yeah.
Sure. And right now, y'all are helping us fill up that time that we normally would have had the Slick Scheme Spotlight. Flips are definitely scary, but I'm glad that they took the grass out from back there, because then it would have been another of them the flips like we had last year, to where it was like 15 barrel rolls. That would have not been good.
You may have a helmet, but I have a Herzog 124th.
I'll play that game, huh?
Yeah.
I have this Looney Tunes rookie chromed out car with the man Jimmy Johnson's signature on the hood. That was done in person. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I don't want to pull out any more of my signatures. I do have one Johnson signature, and it's on a piece of his.
But you didn't get it done in person. Hunky, I do not agree that it made the flips worse, but I do think that it didn't make it better or worse.
I do want to point out the only cars that flipped on Daytona were Fords.
It was more than just Daytona, wasn't it?
I was just counting Daytona because that's
I
when
think
they
all
changed.
of the flips were Fords except for maybe
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I got one better for you.
That
Voodoo. It's not
signature
as-
that I got on that Jimmy Johnson car was back in 2010.
I don't know. Focus. There we go. This is an inbox NASCAR 99 for Nintendo 64.
You got the 64 to play it on?
Hey, listen. I have 2 copies of this game.
I got
For
a
the
Nintendo
N64.
64 at my mama's house.
I don't have an N64 anymore, but I do have a PlayStation, and I have NASCAR 98 all the way up to 06.
Well, congratulations.
Ugh.
Had to hit that customer with the quick, yeah, something just happened here. I'm not watching TV on the job.
That's the good thing about mine is I work at a wastewater plant, right? So I can throw my earbuds in and do my testing and just keep like knowing what I'm doing. But how many diecast do I have in total? So I'm the majority of a 1/64th collector just because they're cheaper and easy to maintain. I haven't updated my list in a hot minute, and I know I've gained probably another 100. But last time I've counted, hang on, I've got the.
I currently have 51 mixed between 124th and 164th, and only 6 of those are not Jimmy Johnson.
Hang on, I'm working on it. I've got a Google Drive that I have all my cards in.
My entire collection's behind me. His entire collection is not even viewable at the moment.
So I haven't updated this in 8 months. So all the cars that I got in Nashville aren't even on this thing. I have 137 in package just on this list, which I have a lot more now. And I have 109 out of package, which I've probably gained about 50. So give or take around 400 164s. 124s, I've got approximately 30. Haulers, I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 18 haulers.
Only got $3.
So, I have candy and cardboard cutouts and cups and Mountain Dew bottles that still have Mountain Dew in them.
You must be single, hunky. 40% of your checks can go to diecast.
Oh yeah, I get yelled at when I buy diecast. So a couple of my coolest ones, which I didn't count. I know you guys can't. You can kind of see the little shelf up here. You can barely see the shelf. But I have 2 elite Chris Bells.
Mine's a little bigger.
That's what she said.
Got little kids on the show, man. Come on.
Anyway, I have too much NASCAR stuff. I have posters. I have your books.
Well, okay, I'm about to go on 38 years old. I've been married for over 16 of those.
Yeah, but
4 kiddos.
He might rip. I'm 24 with 2 kids. This is all posters. Yeah.
See, they telling you to chill out too. PG, man.
All right, I'll keep it PG. everything. There you go. Here's a C-Bell, hero card. A lot of my signatures I have in a binder that I don't want to get out. But pretty much anything NASCAR I've got.
Yeah, he collects just about anything that has the NASCAR decal on it.
So I do have one of my favorite things. Yeah. One of my favorite thing is I have an inflatable Rainbow Warrior car. And this sucker, hang on, this sucker is every bit of like this big and like this tall. It's awesome. When I eventually move over to the house or the trailer that we're going to be looking at, it will be in my background, I promise, because it is so cool. That, and of course I got my Johnson like 1/8, or I don't even know what you'd call that. It's a RC car. Sucker's is big. Those two things are definitely going to be behind me.
But yeah, we have no new sponsors. Technically, we don't have our Slick Scheme Spotlight, but it doesn't hurt to still promote the sponsor of that segment.
Definitely.
Not their fault we don't have anything. If you're looking, since we're talking about collections and stuff, you know, might as well bring
I don't have my
this up.
shirt. I have a Johnson 7-time champion shirt that I bought from them, and I will say my experience with them was very easy. I mean, I paid for it. I didn't have to fill out anything. I just put the size that I wanted, checked out normally, and it showed up like a week and a half later. It was great. Top tier.
Mm-hmm. And so happyhourracing.com. Got all your NASCAR and, if you're into it, Formula One merch.
Yes, sir.
Shirts, hoodies, all that 9 yards. They got die casts. They got all kind of stuff out there. Hats. I don't even know what else they got. Got a ton of stuff. So if you want to help support the podcast, you can go there, put in that code RHPD, and we get a cut of your order to help the podcast get a little bit better. That's partially of what helped get our new intro going. So moving on up in the world. Yeah. Help support the podcast. Also, for you new guys around here, we do have our own merch. Which, if you're wanting that, the link for that is in the description below this live video.
They definitely do have Briscoe stuff. I've seen it a couple times. I want to say they restock once a month, so it's kind of like if you're at the end of the month or something, they might be sold out of quite a bit. But
yeah, it's like it's a smaller company at the moment, but they do have high quality stuff.
Yeah,
we watched our last it was our commentary video that you wore it in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you watch our last commentary video, you can see the 7-time shirt.
And it didn't come with like a bunch of like wrinkles or anything. I mean, like it come wrapped in plastic. It had the NASCAR tag right here. So it was a brand new shirt. It wasn't like somebody was just reselling. It was, really good. I didn't have any problems with like the sizing or anything. What I ordered came to me and it was great. So
my wallet's never happy when it comes to NASCAR stuff.
Say the same thing. When I get around NASCAR, my wife already knows she better just like hold on tight to my wallet because usually dollar bills start flying out.
I'm still wondering because sorry about the yawning. Estimated delivery for that Jimmy Johnson Daytona 500 car was supposed to be August 31st, and I haven't gotten confirmation that it's been.
I haven't either, and I'm kind of upset about it. I don't think I have anyway. Let me double check.
I haven't seen one come in yet.
Just want to make sure. Doesn't
and all the other ones got canceled.
I know. That's what I'm worried about. Is
well, they would have canceled it a long time ago if it wouldn't make. There ain't no way that one's not making it.
I hope. I just hope I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad if they sent me 2 and for the price of 1 though.
Right. Oh, for waiting so long. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But
That's about
Yep,
all we
I haven't.
got for this episode, unless you guys got some more questions or something.
Yeah, we can definitely run up the clock a little bit if you guys want to ask some questions or just, talk about some stuff. But
Give them a minute to respond here before we
yeah, I know.
shut things down.
You remember how when we left Nashville, I was looking for that Ally 400 pin that I bought?
There's only one thing I can remember about us leaving Nashville right now. I really don't want to talk about it.
But I was missing a pin that I bought there at the race. When did y'all become a NASCAR fan? Anyway, I just recently found it, like 2 or 3 days ago. It was shoved in the bottom of what
Have a
is
good night,
that?
Braden.
Yeah, Braden, good night, man. Catch you next week. But it was shoved in the bottom. You remember the dogs that we got at the Ally booth?
Mm-hmm.
It was in that little Ally bucket.
Good job.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Hunky, when did y'all become a NASCAR fan? Let's see. Well, when I first got introduced to NASCAR, I don't even remember what age I was, but my uncle, he was a big Jeff Gordon fan, and he had like all the 124th, like gold-plated cars and silver-plated cars and all that stuff, and like a little display case that he had in his living room, like those ones where you go into the pawn shops and stuff, and they got products on display in those little glass cases. He had that kind of stuff in like all the Jeff Gordon, yeah, that all kinds of different schemes and stuff. In that, but I was definitely like early teens when I was introduced to NASCAR. Now, when I got hardcore into it, was probably 2006-ish, probably, I would say, when I hardcore got into it. And then I kind of fell in love with the bandwagon man that is Jimmy Johnson and stuck with him ever since. Because he was already getting on his roll.
I want to point out that you are essentially a past Chase Elliott fan.
Yeah, except I'm not a fan of Chase Elliott, so.
Yeah, but let's say same circumstance.
No, because my driver's way better.
Oh.
When did you become a fan there, Dally?
So I was a car kid, very much so when I was very little. Like I'm talking Hot Wheels galore. And when I was like 2 or 3, my grandparents decided to take me to Lowe's. And I wanted to sit in the cart, if you remember those, the big
I do remember those.
cart. I'm not gonna lie, I have been searching high and low. I check eBay at least once a month. If I can find one of those carts, I will pay a lot of money for one of those. Anyway, just nostalgia. Anyway, my grandparents bought, a car mat that it's like the average, like early 2000s, late 90s. I grew up in the streets, car mat, whatever. And the Lowe's that we went to was running a promotion since Jimmy had just signed in, because this was 2002, so his rookie year. So he just signed a deal with Lowe's that if you bought this rug, you get a die cast. Sorry, I still have the car,
Is that the
surprisingly.
one with the bent up roof?
Yep, this is the one that looks like it's been chopped down and like the paint's almost all the way
got
gone off the back. Yeah, that thing has rode probably 100,000 miles just on that mat. So that was kind of me and my grandma's thing. We'd watch NASCAR every Sunday, never miss it. We would yell at the TV. She was a big Ryan Newman fan. Well, in 2008, she got bedridden, so that's really the only thing that we would do is watch NASCAR. And I told her I was going to save up enough money to take us to Texas. And in 2012, I did that. We were going to go to the playoff race in Texas. If I remember right, it could have been, I don't know. Anyway, unfortunately, she passed before we were able to go. And I just quit watching NASCAR. I put my collection away. I didn't want anything to do with it. Fast forward to 2021. It's the end of the season. One of my best friends calls me up and he's like, "Hey man, I've been into this new sport. You really should check it out with me." I said, "All right, I'll watch it with you." He didn't tell me what it was or anything. I walked in and they're racing at the Glen. And he started talking to me about NASCAR and all this, and I was like, "Dude, you have no idea." Because I had a pretty sizable collection even when I quit watching. Oh. Anyway, so I ended up digging my collection out, and it amazed him because I have a lot of early 2000s, late 90s stuff, of course, because I quit watching around 2010, 2012. So ever since then, I have been hardcore into it. And my collection has quadrupled. My bank account has depleted. But I got to go to my first race in 22. We went to Kansas. Me and my wife. It was a lot of fun.
I mentioned my first race this day.
But and then so I've only been to a handful of races. So in 23 we got to go to the Southern 500. So last year we got to go to Darlington. It was a lot of fun. We were super busy because not only did we go to that, we also went to so the day before the race on that Saturday we went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which if you guys ever get the chance, I suggest definitely going. It is a lot of fun. It's really cool. When we were there, that's right after Jimmy announced that he was being inducted. So they had all his fire suits out. They had his car there on the checkered flag. It was so cool. That's where I got that really cool picture of the Power of Pride, that 2003 car.
Yeah, the one that's on the banner of our channel.
That is the picture that I took. Yeah, it was really cool, especially being a Johnson fan, to see all of that. Like it had like his life and everything. It was really cool. And then after we left the race track that Sunday, we drove to Talladega just to see the track, and we got to take a tour. It was a lot of fun. Dega is huge. And we got to go up to the Fox booth. It was a lot of fun. Yes, that one. It is the same one that I've got, but I'm not going to get up and go get.
This one's missing a tire.
Oh,
one of the ones that got messed up when I told you I got broken into.
Oh, I got you. But yeah. So and then this year I have been super busy with NASCAR because I got to go to Texas for my wife's birthday this year. It was her idea. We got to meet Martin Truex. It was a lot of fun. And then we went to Nashville with Voodoo. Definitely a lot of fun. We're gonna have to plan a trip like that again.
We need to plan one for next season. Just don't know which track.
Right.
Texas doesn't fall exactly in a good spot for either one of us.
Yeah. Maybe Bristol.
Bristol's actually about the same distance as Nashville of a drive for me.
Same for us.
Kinda weird.
I think it's like 30 minutes difference, honestly. But either that or we all go to Atlanta. I've got an aunt there in Georgia. I can.
Atlanta's my second closest track.
Atlanta's like 13, 14 hours away for us. I'm not going to lie.
I think it's just under 7 hours for me.
Dega's 9. So Dega would be like my
Dega's like 5
second
hours for me.
Dega's like second/third from me because Texas and Kansas are the same amount of time. But yeah, that's how I got to be a fan. Just and then I actually didn't meet him even anything remotely related to NASCAR. We were playing some GTA 5. Found a post on Reddit talking about wanting to do a MC. Got to talking to him, and then we ended up getting on the subject of NASCAR. I think you were talking about your league, and then found out he was a Johnson fan, and I figured he was okay. So
Turns out he was wrong, but
yeah,
still stuck it out anyway.
but yeah,
I've been to Texas Motor Speedway 3 times. That was all 2009, 2010ish. I've been to Talladega a few times. Then I've been to Nashville once. That's the only 3 tracks I've been to. I need to step that game up, and I'm hoping to do so more here soon. So spend all your monies with us. I'm just kidding.
I guess if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and read our outro, and we'll see you guys next week. We start streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, 8 o'clock Central. Yep.
I don't know what time we're on, but
technically it would be your time to read the outro. But before we read that, I know the guys that are in the chat have already done so. But the rest of y'all that aren't in the chat, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Heck yeah.
Give us some love.
We're at 56. I'm sorry. 56.
Actually, they said 57. So.
Oh, 57. Okay. So
we're hard to keep track with how fast we're growing.
I know it. We're at 57 out of our next goal at 100. There will be a 50 sub bonus episode where we are reacting to different wrecks, whether it be this season or old. You'll have to watch to find out.
Yep, and that's thanks to Braden's suggestion.
Yep. So thanks to our VIP Braden for bringing in all our scouts and for being just our VIP. That's why we keep him around.
Yes, sir.
So thank you again, Braden. Thank you guys for jumping in the chat. We love having people in the chat. We will see you next time, and I'll go ahead and read this outro. So thanks again for riding shotgun with us on this episode of Race Hale Praise Dale. Remember, the checkered flag might fall, but the excitement never ends. So until next time, keep the pedal to the metal and the passion for racing burning. This is Race Hale Praise Dale signing off. We will catch you in the next turn.